So, yeah, last week was a really tough week. We had, being the beginning of November, I typically try to work a little bit harder than I would at other points in the season. We kind of are at the peak of a step that we go through in training. We knew we had the back-to-back for the women, and at the last minute we kind of added the back-to-back meets for the men. And I was kind of excited to see them. At first they were like, oh, another meet. I think they got to go up there and see two D1 teams compete and kind of see the other end of the spectrum a little bit as far as what collegiate swimming and diving is. The meet Friday away, great. It's a tough meet to swim on the road. They had some good performances. And it's always nice to separate the teams, once or twice a year, just to kind of give them their own atmosphere and their own opportunity to have their vibe. So I would say that Saturday meets, both meets were a success. The guys went up to Buffalo and swam pretty well. There was some really good stuff, and we also had some bad things that that are pretty obvious to the coaching staff we need to continue to work on. We have one more dual meet here this weekend before we go into Thanksgiving break. So hopefully we put our fall in the books on a good note tomorrow. And I'm really excited to kind of give these guys a little bit of a break in the hard training and see what they can do.
Yeah, so I mean the freshmen this year, they're definitely tough. They're strong. They have a good work attitude. They push everybody else as well as themselves. And coming into college swimming, it can be kind of tough. It's a whole different atmosphere, whole different type of training. It's a whole new level compared to high school and even club swimming. So they came in, wasn't sure what to expect, and they're doing really well, still doing really well, pushing along. We haven't lost anybody yet. And we've seen some great performances out of them in the meets that we've had recently.
Awesome. So, of course, we got Chris. Went to nationals next year. He's trying to make waves again. And there's a lot of good divers behind him too, that are going to be assisting. That might come out of the woodwork, really raise up to his level. You can see that. Andrew Edminster, of course. He's a big hitter. He's ambitious. He wants to do big things, so I'm looking forward to see that. And always Noah. Noah's trying to make waves distance-wise. That's going to be one to look out for. And there's a lot of other little sleepers out there that are on the rise, like Kyle, Brian, Ryan Brown. They're really making their own, making a name for themselves. I look forward to what they have to do come championship meet time, and even Ithaca coming up, trying to make moves there. That's going to be good.
And we'll continue to work hard through next week, going into Thanksgiving break. There's a natural rest. They go home for a few days, most of them. They'll train with their club teams or at an open swim, and they'll kind of, the nature of being by themselves kind of come off the hard training a little bit. We have an invitational the beginning of November. A lot of great teams at it, so I'm looking forward to some of our fastest swimming to date. We come through and do a few weeks here in December. We have finals, and then we go to Florida to do a training trip. It's really a good opportunity for me to give them some hard sets. They're outdoors, a little sunlight, and I think just the nature of getting out of our natural habitat a little bit in Alfred helps me work them a little harder without them realizing it. So that'll be a huge week for us. We come back here and we have like 3 meets in 2 weeks. And then the season's basically on cruise control through our taper and into the championship week. So, having said all that, we have, it's a long season, but it's going to fly by here after this week. I think, once we hit Thanksgiving break, then everything's kind of on cruise control as far as what the team's doing and how we're doing it. And, hopefully we can still make the changes we need to make, but the hard work here is going to be done in the next 5 weeks.
Obviously we want to do the best we can. I think everyone's getting better every meet we've been to. and that's really the core of what I think we can do. I think we have a lot of room to grow this season, especially. It's a very young team, I think, and I think it's going to surprise everyone come time that we shave down. And I think you can see the progress we're going to make every meet going forward.
It's kind of tough because, like, we lost a lot of swimmers, but the freshmen that came in are really starting to fill their shoes, and we're getting really good times out of them. Let's see, and for goal-wise, we've set goals both academically and athletically in the pool. Everybody has their own individual goals, whether it be a time they want to race or whether it be something they want to work on in the pool. And I think that's great. And as a leader of this team, I really try to keep everybody on their feet, keep them up, help them when they're down, kind of hypothetically. But you know, it can be hard, and everybody's doing a really great job.
Yeah, one of the reasons that I ended up coming here as a coach, I mean, I had a great experience here as a student athlete, and it had such a huge impact on my life. As I started looking for coaching positions, it was a natural move for me to come back home, if you will. And I think over the last few years now, you know, we've even going back 8 or 9 years, but we've slowly built this relationship with a lot of different groups in our alumni base. And I think the last 2 years have been super exciting. They have generated this movement, and they being a lot of my former athletes, and then athletes from Coach Shaberly and Coach Davis. They've all kind of come together and started supporting this team now. And you know, with each of these projects that they've put together, they've come back to visit, and they're talking about careers and putting people out in the workforce, giving advice on career. It's been a really neat thing. And I think it's only going to get better. I think it's helping us with things here right now today in the pool, but also in the future it's going to hopefully lead to better things, better recruiting, you know, better opportunities for our student athletes and things like that.